This is Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. No DCS, no footage borrowed from another game. This Rafale can find and shoot down an aircraft, fly low level using terrain following, and guide a bomb onto a ground target. What we have here is something that could change Microsoft Flight Sim forever. Let's take a closer look. AzurPoly provided the Rafale for this video, but they had no say in what I'm about to do with it. On PC, the weapons work. If you bought the Rafale through the Microsoft Marketplace, you'll need the additional weapons patch from AzurPoly down in the description. On Xbox and PlayStation, the weapons remain visual only, be aware. Today, gentlemen, we are taking off from Dubrovnik, Texas in a Croatian Rafale, carrying several MICAs and several GBUs and of course a Damocles TGP. The plan today is very simple. Head inland, using terrain following, intercept an aircraft and later find a target on the ground for some big bada boom. If all of that works in a single flight, then maybe, and just maybe, this really does change how and what MSFS can do. First up, terrain following. The Rafale scans the ground ahead and builds a vertical path over it. The steps at the bottom of the hut show the relative height of the terrain in front of us. And here, as the ground rises, the aircraft automatically pulls up. We set a requested height above the terrain and a safety margin and choose how aggressively the system should react. Once active, it controls only though the vertical part of the flight. I still choose where we're going. The Rafale handles the climbs and the descents. That leaves me free to look around, work with the radar, or do very important pilot work, like watching my own aircraft from outside. Back inside, the center display combines a topographic map with the traffic detected by the radar. The colors show the terrain elevation around us, while the symbols on top are aircraft already flying through MSFS. So, terrain following works, and it works well, but this isn't a game changer. For that, let's try to intercept something. Now, we need something to intercept, and we can create it directly through the Rafale's EFB. We scroll through the aircraft installed in MSFS and right at the bottom find another Rafale Charlie. Let's give it the Croatian livery, then set its flight level, airspeed and heading. The spawn position is selected on the center display. Wherever we place the cursor is where the aircraft will appear. Then it's back to the EFB, one press of spawn, and almost immediately there it is on the radar. We switch to air-to-air mode and designate the contact. Terrain following is still active, so while I'm looking down and working the radar, the Rafale pulls us over the next ridge before I even look up. Once we're clear, gentlemen, I take back control and bring up the weapons page. We're using MICAs for this shot, not a meteor missile. With the missile selected, master arm on, and all that's left is to bring the target into the launch zone. And there he is, another Rafale.
Squawk 2, 5 tree.
Fox 3.
554 Golf, Echo Hotel, 554.
Splish splash. This is where the biggest limitation becomes obvious. The hit is registered, smoke and fire appear, and the target goes into an uncontrolled descent. But There is no proper damage model. The aircraft doesn't break apart, lose a wing, or switch to a damaged version. It simply falls out of the sky. For the second run, I turn on Dogfight Mode. That makes the target maneuver and gives us something to chase, although dogfight is a generous description. The AI can evade a little, but it has no tactics and cannot shoot back. Still, gentlemen, we can lock it, find it visually. If you want a real opponent, multiplayer is the more interesting option. Other players can appear on your radar, so you can arrange dogfights with friends, if you have any friends. Settle the paper and guns. Splish splash. Does the hit animation look rough? Oh yes, it does. But when all of this is happening over a scenery like this, I can live with that trade-off, gentlemen. Air to air alone doesn't change MSFS forever. But in one flight, we created a target, found it on radar, locked it and shot it down. That's not something I think of when I hear Microsoft Flight Simulator. Now, let's put a bomb on the ground, gentlemen. We switch to air-to-surface mode and go back to the map. Clicking on the target point designates it and slaves the Damocles pod straight to that position. To see the pod image, we open IMA, go to DIS and put IMA on the left display. There it is in infrared. We can run through the zoom levels and switch to TV if we prefer a more natural picture. Stable through release. Pickle. Pickle times 2. Good shack. But the limitation is exactly the same as it was in air-to-air. The impact gives us smoke and a black mark on the ground, and a little bit of fire, but no actual damage stayed. The object doesn't visibly break apart or remain destroyed. So yes, air-to-ground works within its limitation, of course. So, could this really change Microsoft Flight Sim forever? Honestly, I think it could. But not because it suddenly turns MSFS into DCS. It doesn't by any stretch of the imagination. The combat AI is basic, the damage model is extremely limited, and multiplayer still comes with huge restrictions. The real breakthrough is the weapon system. Finding a target, tracking it through a functional targeting pod, and actually engaging it with working weapons. That lets us create our own solo PvE missions anywhere in the world of Microsoft Flight Sim, from interceptions and escorts to ground strikes. The Rafale itself is simply beautiful, detailed, polished, and clearly made with care. AzurPoly has raised the bar for military aircraft in Microsoft Flight Sim. A big thank you to them for providing the Rafale for this video. For me, the Rafale is an absolute must-have in MSFS 2024. Gentlemen, this is 554 going dark. Oh, 7 kisses on the forehead.